Hey there everybody, it's Kathy Champion and I am your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in North Carolina, and I welcome you to my channel today. If you are one of my regular followers, thank you so much for tuning in again, and if you're new to my channel, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are inspired, and I hope that you would come back and see what else we do here. We have a great little community of crafters, and I welcome you to join with us. If you do like what you see and you want to see more videos like this, go down and hit that subscribe button, and if you ring that bell you can be notified whenever I put up a new video. So all of that out of the way real quick, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. Here is my host code for October. If you spend $50 before taxes and shipping in my online Stampin' Up! Store, you will receive a free gift from me that will be shipped out the first week of the month. Apology to all of my people from September. I have not gotten those gifts out yet due to my surgery, recuperation, appointments, and what have you. I just have not had a chance to get those out. I do have them ready, but I haven't mailed them. But I will get those in the mail this week. Okay. Enough about that. What I wanted to show y'all today, I did this card last week, and I thought this card needed an envelope. And I had recently purchased this bundle called Ornamental envelope, and it comes with the bundle comes with the ornamental dies. I mean the envelope dies. I'm sorry. It's ornamental envelopes on here. And you got all these beautiful little things that you can decorate your envelopes with. You got little corners, you got the little flower corners, you got these little bells and different things that you can do. And I love this. You get a stamp that actually allows you to stamp a place to put this on. These are individual little, they stamp as one, but when you cut them with the dies, they cut out all at the same time. And you can use these to decorate a card, or you can use them to decorate your envelopes. These right here are fantastic, and I want to show you how to use them, but first let me show you where they are in our catalog. They are on page 40 in our little Christmas mini catalog. This is the one that's handmade for you, and it's the August through December mini catalog. And if you do not have one of these and you would like one, if you place an order with me and receive the free gift, I will also mail you a catalog. Otherwise, I do have to charge for the postage on these, so the mini catalog is $3 and the annual catalog is $5. And I'll have information on that in my description and also on my blog. So just wanted to let y'all know that. I have not established a customer base large enough yet to offer catalogs for free, and I hope y'all understand that. Alright, without any further ado, let's go ahead and I want to show you. Since I made this card and I wanted to do an envelope for it, I thought what I want to do is I want to use this is the envelope right here, and these are the Stampin' Up! Envelopes, and see how they're made perfect to go with the envelopes. So the dies are made to go with these envelopes, and I think they work beautifully. Here's the large one, and I think if you cut this, what I did is I cut my paper at 2 1/4, and how I got that measurement was I measured the longest part of my card, and it was 2 1/4 right there. And I want this to come up to the fold in my envelope, but I don't want it to go over it. So this is what I decided to do. I took out this die. I'm going to set my stamp set over here. We might use that in a little bit. And I cut a strip that is, oh, you know what, I got this on the metric side. We can't do that. And I taped it down, so we'll use our ruler. I love this ruler anyway. I cut it at 2 1/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this die and I am going to lay it just like this all the way up to the edge of the paper, like so. Now my dog, a lot of you that are my regulars, you know that I have 2 little Shih Tzus, and Toby and Bella, and it's trash day because it is Monday, and every Monday Toby has a hissy fit when the trash truck comes by. So I do apologize for his barking. Mondays are always hard for me to video for that reason, because he will forever bark at the trash truck. So I'm just going to crank this through to cut it. And I'm going to hang on just a second. Alright, I'm back. So sorry about that. It was my doctor's office calling, my dentist office, reminding me of my appointment tomorrow. So I am going to bring this whole thing over so you can see exactly what transpired. Now I put this down, and as you notice, look how neat that cut. So now this is a perfect piece to go on our envelope. But I'm going to go just a step further, and I'm going to put this back on here. I'm going to do a little trial run on my envelope. And this is going to go, looks like I cut it a little bit short. That's okay. What we'll do is we'll trim this off to match. Not a problem, so we can very easily just cut that off, because that's what I want. I want this to become my envelope flap. So what I want to do now is right here in the middle of this, in the center, I want to use this other die, this little decorative die right here. Isn't that pretty? And I want to put this down right in the middle. Right in the middle of this. And this is going to cut a pattern out of the little envelope flap. But now I want to make sure I'm getting it even, so I'm going to kind of eyeball. And you might even want to take your ruler at this point and just kind of measure and see if you're getting, let's see, that's about 1 3/4. About 1 3/4, so that looks about even. So let's just make sure we got it exactly where we want it. And then I'm just going to put this back into my die cut machine, and I'm going to run it through. And then I'm going to show you what transpires after that. And it's gorgeous. Look at this. Look at that beautiful decorative edge, that or intricate opening on that. Isn't that pretty? But we're going to go even one further. Let's clean our little magnetic mat off. There we go. Got all of that off. Now my magnetic mat, this is a self-healing magnetic mat, so it's very flexible, and I find myself rolling it to give me a flatter surface, because it will concave. You can also sit your machine on it when you're not using it. Put it on the bottom and take your plate and sit on it, or even like this, and this will help flatten it. Then sit your machine on top of this. So there's ways to to get around to make a fix for it, is what I'm saying, which works really well. Alright, so now what I want is I want a piece of that beautiful mauve that we used on this card. And we're going to put that up underneath this. So let me grab, let's see if I had any scraps of the mauve that we could use. That's not going to be quite big enough. Will that make it? Let's see if this piece will make it. Actually, I think that is going to work. So we are going to cut this at about 2 1/8. So let's get our trimmer out. I think it's so much fun to build an envelope. It's just, I think it's so classy to have an envelope that matches your card. And I love that. I love to have a classy card and a classy envelope. So let's see now if that will work. Isn't it nice to have a little scrap bin where you can just reach in, and a lot of times you can find a piece that you need and you don't have to cut a whole new piece of cardstock. I love that. So now we want to put this on here like so. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little silicone craft mat, if I can find it. I'm always sticking that thing somewhere, and then when I go look for it, I can't find it. But guess what? Here it is. And the reason I want to pull this out is I want to use some liquid glue on this, but I don't want it to be real sticky. So I'm going to lay this down first. Basically, let's do it this way. Let's put our glue on this piece. And you know what? I might not even sponge it. Maybe I'll do it this way. I'm going to take some liquid glue, and I'm just going to rub some glue across here like that. And I don't know if y'all know this, but on the Tombow glue, if you look on the back end, you have a place for larger areas, and it has a little thing where you can rub the glue out. Isn't that neat? And look at that. You can rub that glue out so that it's kind of all over the place. And that's what I want. I want it all over the place. So now I want to bring this in. Let's see if we can do it this way. I want to make sure that I'm getting it over top of all my area. I think that would do it. Now I'm going to press that down, and remember it's on that silicone mat so it's not going to stick. And now we just need to let this air dry, and the color on that paper underneath will come back. Then we'll trim these little pieces off, and then this will be ready to go onto our envelope. But in the meantime, let's seal our glue back up. And I'm going to lay my mat over here because I'll have to clean that in a minute. I want to do a little bit of stamping. So let me grab that other stamp set, the Forever Fern, because wouldn't it be cute to stamp the same little flowers that we had in here, which is like a eucalyptus. And let's stamp that in the Rococo Rose on the edge of our envelope. And I also want to use this one and put our little lines for our address. So let me grab that stamp set and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back and I've got my Forever Fern, and here's that little eucalyptus that I want to use, and I think it's so cute. It stamps so pretty, and we're going to do a little second generation stamping on that. So let me grab my Rococo Rose. Love, love, love these colors. Now I do want to tell you that if you are in love with the in colors, there's actually 4 of these in the inks and the markers, and there is 5 colors in the paper. The Purple Posy they did not bring out in the ink because we had the Highland Heather that was so close to it that I don't think there was a need. So at any rate, if you are interested in these in colors, the inks, the ink pads, the ink refills, the Stampin' blends, and the solid cardstocks, start thinking about ordering now, because these will go away in January. These were the in colors for 2019 through 2021. So in 2021 we'll get a new set of in colors. These colors will go away, and our in colors last year will move up to be discontinued next year. So when they introduce a new in color, you have them for 2 years. So I always like to let people know that this is going away, so that if you do love it, and I do, in fact, I got my refills for these just the other day. There's my terracotta tile, because if you got the ink refill and the ink pad, they will last you forever. ever. So just thought I would throw that out there. All right, I'm loading up my stamp, and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp off. See how dark that is? And then I'm going to stamp on and kind of off of my envelope, just like that. Stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp again right beside of it, like that. Gives a little interest right there on our envelope. And do I want to do the address? I think I'm going to do the address in black. I think I want to do it in black. I think it'll look better. So yeah, we'll do that one in black. So I'm going to grab my little chamois and just give this stamp a wipe. I love these Stampin' chamois. They are so neat because you keep them dampened with water, and you can keep it in a Ziploc bag, or I keep it in one of the empty cases. You can buy these. They come, I think, 4 to a pack, and it fits perfect in here, and it seals up, and believe it or not, it stays very wet keeping it in there. So just a thought, and look how well it cleans your stamps. No chemicals, no nothing, just water. I think it's wonderful. Alright, the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp before I do this. This looks like it's dried perfectly, and you don't see any of that glue, so that worked perfectly. And isn't that pretty? I love that. Like I said, this particular suite, the ornamental envelope and the envelope dies, is definitely a treasure that has been overlooked, I think, because yes, it is in the Christmas catalog. There is some Christmas stuff on this die, but you can use this all year round, and it's gorgeous. Alright, so I'm going to grab that. These are photopolymer. I am going to grab this little ditty right here, and I'm going to lay it down. And with the photopolymer, I like to just drop them, and so that they take their own shape. And I'm going to grab a larger stamp block. I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to straighten that up on my grid. Now I know that's nice and straight. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my envelope. I'm going to get it on a line where I know that it's completely squared. That's good. And now let's grab our ink. And I think with this one I'm going to use an ink. This is Contraband, but I am going to use a VersaFine Black Onyx ink. And a lot of you probably have this ink in your stash. Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry it, but I wish they would. This is a great, great pigment ink. The only bad thing about this ink, if you're doing alcohol coloring, you cannot use alcohol markers with this. Water-based markers, like your Stampin' Rights, you can, but not your Stampin' Blends. Alright, I'm going to look at this again, making sure this is nice and straight. Nobody wants a crooked lines on their card, on their envelope. And I'm just going to press that down. And look how pretty that is. Now I've got a set of lines to write my address on. I still got plenty of room up here for my return address, and I've got a place here for my stamp. So now let's get busy with fixing this. So I'm going to grab my little paper snips, and I am going to just trim and see, I'm just going around the scallop ever so gently, and I trimmed that little bit off there. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to there we go. And now this is ready to be put down on here. And remember what I told you, I want this to come all the way up to here. And we'll do some trimming. And don't be afraid to trim. You know, don't be afraid of your scissors. They are one of your most handy tools that we have. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put some liquid glue on here. And the reason I want to use liquid is I want some wiggle room. When I put this down on here, I want to have room to wiggle it and get it exactly where I want it to be. And I'm paying special attention to getting glue on my edges. Now, some people might say this is an overkill, but if you're doing a card for someone very special and you really want to bring in and coordinate your envelope with your card, I think this is the perfect way to do it. Now I'm just going to press that down and let it adhere. Just like that. And we'll come back and we'll take our snips and we'll go right in here and snip off that little excess right there. Just a little sliver. And then we're going to do the same thing right here. Just a sliver. And then guess what we're going to do here? We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go right there under the edge. And we are going to trim the edge of that envelope. And don't be afraid, you know, you can always go back and take out a little bit more. There we go. I think we got that completely done, and look how beautiful this is going to look with this card. See, the envelope is gorgeous, the card is gorgeous, and how sweet is that going to be able to send the card in a matching envelope. I love this idea. I love how easy it was to, I think I got some glue on my sticky because it wants to stick already. So I'm going to lay this upside down like that and let that dry completely. And then that card is ready to go in the mail. So I love the way that came together. And I've got another card that I want to decorate. Very similar, but a little bit different. But I think I'm going to do that one off camera because I did not make this card on camera. I will show you it. I made it very similar to the other one, but a little different. And I have the very vanilla envelope. But I think what I'm going to do on this one, I think I might just stamp in my corners. And I'm going to use that same color, and I think I'm going to use the Pacific Blue. Let's see how that would look. I think I'm going to need a smaller stamp block, so I'm going to grab that one. I think that would be cute like that. Or do I want to do it on the front? Oh, you know what would be cute? I know what I want to do. Let's do this one again. What did I do with my... I'm going to wipe this off just to get any excess ink. Just like so. And I think I'm going to stamp for my envelope first. And this is going to go down like so. And again, I'm going to square my envelope up. Let me move my card back over here so I don't get it messed up. And we're going to go about there, and very pretty. Very, very pretty. So again, I'm just going to wipe this off. It's always a good rule of thumb to clean your stamps as you use them, and I will tell you why. If you fail to do that, you can take the risk of having your stamps that will stain really bad. Now, some of them are going to stain anyway when you use a pigment ink, but they clean much better if you clean them right away. So I always try my best to clean my stamps immediately, even if it's just a little quick clean just to wipe off the excess ink. Oh yeah, that's cute. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these right here. And one right here. I got ink all over my block. And you know I'm going to set that down on my card. So let's get that excess ink off of there. We're going to come back in and stamp again and be much more mindful to just get it on the stamp itself and not on the stamp block. Pretty full. I like it. Alright. So let's see what else we want to do. I think what I want to do is on the front, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this again. This one is on the card. So let's stamp off. And this time I think I'm just going to do one. Just like that. Isn't that cute? Just getting a little bit of that ink off of that block so that I don't mess my chamois up too bad. The red rubber stamps always, and look at my hands. I am a blue mess, but that's okay. That's all right. You know what? I say if you're not getting ink on yourself, you're not having fun and you're really not stamping. So I'm going to get a little alcohol wipe out here and see if I can clean my hands off enough so I can handle something without getting ink on everything. And I make my alcohol wipes, and I think I've told y'all that before. I just take a pack of regular wipes, like baby wipes that are unscented, and I just pour some alcohol, about a cup of alcohol, and they make the best wipes for, you know, cleaning up. And they clean your blocks, and don't use them on your stamps, but you do want to use them on your blocks. Okay, I think this envelope is ready. So I am going to have that one ready to go. And I got 2 cards ready to go in the mail. How about that? And I've got these 2 birthdays for 2 very special ladies. And I'm going to send these cards off to them. One's going in the mail today, and the other one will go in the mail a little bit later this week. So I'm excited about that. I can't wait to send these cards, and I can't wait for the recipient to get them. I hope they really love the card as much as I loved putting it together and making the envelopes. So I'm going to bring our cards and our envelopes back over, and along with my host code. And here's my card and my card. Aren't those pretty? I think they turned out beautiful. So whenever you want to send a card and make it a little more special, this is a great way to do that. So until we craft again, God bless you always. May He keep you in His grace. And as I always say in closing, let everything you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He's worthy. We'll craft again soon. Bye-bye.